Okay, look, so this is completely different to anything that I've done before. I literally just typed in opera singing, and I'm gonna pick up one of these. I'm not gonna pick up Nessun Dorma from Pavarotti because I've actually heard Pavarotti. Not necessarily. I've heard Nessun Dorma like the beginning of it because of Britain's Got Talent. The amount of times anyone that ever every time anyone goes on Britain's Got Talent, they always sing Nessun Dorma, and I'm not gonna play Time to Say Goodbye because fun fact, when I was a kid, I actually sang opera. Out of my not, can't even say it, but I sang opera because I was going to the story. Look, let me just pick a random one. The Queen of Night. Let's go with something like this one. I know Maria Callas sings Casta Diva. I've heard of the Magic Flute, Queen of Night, of course. But I've not heard of Casta. You know what? Let's go with something that I've actually like heard the name of, which is this. I don't know. I've not heard the actual like piece. I say piece. I've not heard the actually being sung, but I've heard of like the Queen of Night from the Magic Flute. Look, let's get into the Magic Flute, Queen of Night. Now that I've set the story, I hopefully won't ever say it again. This is just the introduction. Now you know. The Magic Flute, Queen of Night, by Mozart, but sung by Diana Damrau. Let's hope that's correct. The Royal Opera. Okay, so I guess one thing that I left out of the story, I speak German. I was born in Germany. The story happened in Germany. So like Mozart being, speaking his plays being German, his operas being German, I can understand what's being said, but it's still being sung in such a high, it's just such a high register that I'm just like, I'll probably just like, I'll just like, put the subtitles on. I always wanted to go to one. This is so impressive to me. Everyone knows that part. I'm scared, bro. I'm scared. I don't know what the story is. That's it's just scary imagery. That's oh. Sorry, I know I shouldn't pause. I've been trying to avoid it as much as possible, right? Because I like to pause a lot, but that's just so impressive. This part right here is so impressive. To me, at least. I don't know whether it's actually impressive or not, but to me it is, really. And you have to finish it off in a dramatic, like, you know, Cape Town. I want to know what the story is. Like genuinely, I want to know what the actual story is, because we only got a little snippet here. But obviously, the most memorable part is, you know, I can't. This is not happening. Not happening anymore. All right, maybe never. But it's I just find it so impressive. Like genuinely, I just find it really impressive. How like stable. I think that's what it boils down to. Like how stable and how much it's honestly also the breath control that like I'm just like really like that stands out to me. Cause like you try and like sing, and you know, okay, there's plenty of songs, you know, where people sing and they hold a note for like a very, you know, specific amount of time, but you trying to hold a note, sing that high, you know, open up your vocal cords that much, and be consistent with it. And you know, you try doing that for like minutes on end. That's just, to me, that just seems difficult, like really difficult. Like all we did as a kid, we sang one song, "Time to Say Goodbye," right? But this is like different. It's like the play. You're moving around everywhere. You're doing all these actions while singing. I'd be out of breath. Like straight up, I'm out of breath talking, right? I get out of breath very easily talking because I talk so fast. I could really slow down, you know, relax a little bit more, be more deliberate with my thoughts and my talks in my vocal cords. And now I'm sounding like I'm rhyming, but I'm not really doing that so intentionally. But I could be more, you know, deliberate with what I'm saying. But that's not really me. So I do talk quite fast, which is why like I always have to take a break after a certain amount of words that I say, like right now, for example. And then I can go again. Whereas they're walking around, they're talking, oh wow, they're going everything, they're doing it all, baby. So yeah, one thing that stood out to me is like Mozart is very much Austrian. I don't think many people would actually get that unless they speak German, and more specifically, unless they are from Austria, or unless they are from like the south of Germany, which I am from the south of Germany. I was originally from Munich, so I really noticed it. Like there was like one line that she was singing like multiple times over, like about her, you know, you won't be my daughter anymore, or something like that. And the way she was saying it, you know, actually, maybe what I'm saying is wrong, because like, you know, slang obviously has evolved. So like, you'd use different words nowadays, like to really like shorten it, like to shorten that sentence. But like the reason why I was saying like he's like really Austrian is because it sounded very like it sounded very much like a regional dialect, like, you know, like the Austrian south of Germany dialect, where people don't know what I'm talking about unless unless they know what I'm talking about. So I guess forget what I'm saying, because I'm not gonna explain it. I'd be here for like minutes. But it sounds very Bavarian. I'll say it as that, and you can read into it what you want. You can look into it, but that's what it sort of sounded like. The way the way it was written, and the way she was like, singing it as well. It sounded very much like, oh yeah, this is definitely written from someone that is from the south of Germany. You know, that speaks more Bavarian than High German. So that's one thing that really stood out to me, but I wouldn't be able to explain that properly, because one, I don't know how to explain dialects that well, and accents, not accents, but more so dialects, and so I'm not even going to attempt, because I just butcher it, you know, it would just make it more confusing. I enjoyed this. I've always wanted to go to an opera, like the Phantom of the Opera. I think everyone heard of that as well. You know, just any type of opera I always wanted to go to, but I just never have, because I always distance myself from it because of my history with it. But you know what? History is mystery. Let's move on to the past. Let's move on to the future, basically, and the present. So yeah, yesterday was history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why they call it present. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if there's anything specific that you want me to check out when it comes to opera reaction or even classical music. I've done some classical videos on this channel. The issue is always that with classical music, that I've heard so much of like classical and romantic music that I actually don't know what to react to, because I only know what I know. I only know what I've heard, and so I sort of like need people to give me the recommendations of like things that I might not have heard or might not know. You know, it sounds kind of silly, but yeah. That's sort of the issue that you always run into with like channels like these, where like you either just, like I just did, like just type in opera singing in and just click on the, the one that looks interesting, or you have people recommend things, and I can't always like just search things. So what I've been doing is like using ChatGPT. If I'm being honest, I've been using that like this week, just to give me recommendations, and it's been working wonders. But I'm always more happy if people actually recommended things, of course. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, peace out, everyone. Have a good one. See you all next time, and until then, bye.